Welcome back to game number 3. Here we are on Xel'Naga Caverns. This is the TSL round of 8, series number 2. Spawning in the bottom left, we have the legend killer, the giant himself, the manliest nerd I know, Prae.ThorZaIN, spawning as the blue Terran. And in the top right, his opponent, which looks the size of an ant. Can he come back? oGs.MC.
I tell you what, ThorZaIN is so manly. I think that, you know, I'm looking at this guy and what I see, I don't know if it's reality, but I see him with like sick muscles and like a cool haircut. He's got like girls chasing him around. He doesn't care though, because all he does is practice Terran and own nerds that win 2 GSLs.
It's true. Looking unstoppable actually thus far, and I want to go ahead and remind everyone to visit Team Liquid on youtube.com/TeamLiquidNet and to visit our Twitter as well, run by Kennegat JWD, and Hotbit himself, that's twitter.com/TeamLiquidNet.
All awesome stuff. You guys have got to check it out. Team Liquid, the biggest, baddest StarCraft site in the world. Absolutely love it. What a great resource. And Chill, I have to say, what an amazing tournament. I have been following every single TSL game in this time and this land and this place of unlimited 24 hours of content of StarCraft 2.
Seriously.
TSL3 is amongst the absolute finest.
And I want to go ahead and remind everyone that the finals of the TSL is actually going to be live from New York. So the players are actually going to be flown in to New York City to participate live in the finals. So that's something exciting to look forward to, whoever those 2 players may be, as we see very standard builds here coming from ThorZaIN. He's got his refinery up. Going to send that SCV out to check for scouting. And you know, I always love someone who does this, sends the SCV out to check for cheese, because the one time out of 100 when he's actually going to catch something, he looks like a genius and gets a pretty easy win.
Yeah, that's quite true. And if you don't check for cheese, man, it feels so bad. You're like, oh, I could have checked for that, and it's like just Zealots streaming in your base or something. That feels terrible. So you notice that a lot of championship level players will always do that. Like, we see that obviously here, as you've just mentioned, but also players like Manawa are always going to check for that. Just, if you're one of the best, you have got to, because at this point I feel like MC has to do some sort of all-in. He's getting completely outplayed with 2 completely different strategies against ThorZaIN.
Yeah, I'm wondering what MC is going to do to try to deal with this. We can see he's got a Zealot out quickly, just holding the ramp, going to be getting a Stalker out. And ThorZaIN, meanwhile, is getting a second refinery, and he's getting a factory. So we have seen Thor play on Xel'Naga Caverns, but it was after an expansion. So I'm going to be interested to see how he follows up with this factory, now getting a reactor onto that barracks.
I'm going to go ahead, and I was going to say it even before I saw the reactor. You guys are just going to have to trust me on that. I feel like we're going to see Banshee play. MC is a player that actually doesn't like to get observers very quickly. He likes to take risks in that way, and that's like a common theme in MC games. So I'm sure ThorZaIN has watched every single one of them and said, you know what? One of these games I should go Banshee and just, you know, roll him over. So that may be what we see, but MC is throwing down 3 gates, and 3 warp gate pressures sometimes can do a good job against just pure Marines. So we're going to have to see, can ThorZaIN hold on to that bunker and get his cloaked Banshees out and just slap MC down for not having detection.
Yeah, that's really going to be the race here. Can MC finish the game before Cloak finishes on those Banshees? We can see the swap going on with the Tech Lab, and going to land that starport. Going to get Cloak first or the Banshee? That's what I'm waiting to see. He's actually going to get the Banshee first. Cloak not on the way as he waits for that 200 gas. MC looking like he's poised to get very aggressive here with no follow-up. He's got these 3 warp gates. He's got 2 forward pylons. Now going to push up the ramp just a little bit. Only a single bunker here. And he just completely runs by 2 more reinforcing Marines. Going to get picked off by the Stalkers, and the SCVs cannot lock this down. Oh my god, ThorZaIN trying to flank. He gets a flank. Does he get a surround? He has to lock these Stalkers, and he does lock them down. The SCV is going to go to work, but a lot of damage has been dealt by oGs.MC.
It has indeed, and you scouted that Banshees are being made. That may be one of the most important parts of the game, but you got to be careful when you go past that bunker, man. That can happen to you, and some Zealots coming in. Those SCVs probably want to run back to mining now. The Banshee can go ahead and handle the rest of these. MC is actually just warping in more and more units. He does not care, but there is no cloak being researched, so this is actually okay right now. And he's going to want to get in that bunker ASAP, sends those Stalkers a-packing. And MC from here, I would like to see him possibly get a robotics. You know, ThorZaIN is kind of in this really hard spot. He's lost a lot of SCVs. He has all this tech out. It may be time for some sort of, you know, point defense drone all in, perhaps a marine tank, Banshee push, something like that. And I think a robotics is a great way to deal with that.
Yeah, very difficult position for ThorZaIN. As we look at the income tab, he's down 10 harvesters, 29 versus 19. He actually pulled all his SCVs off gas while he tried to reestablish his economy just a little bit. Still not researching Cloak, as that window has passed just a little bit. Instead, getting a tank out, going to bring a few SCVs to try to deal with these stalkers. And in response, MC has begun to take his expansion, but no further tech. And just as I say that, there is a robotics facility. You might as well be safe when you have a lead like this.
Indeed, you should be. But he is making that nexus, so there are some neat, interesting attacks that ThorZaIN possibly could do here. You know, Marines, Siege Tanks, and Banshees all attacking at once is incredible DPS and really, really hard to hold off. So if he does hit some sort of timing like that after this light Banshee harassment, I think that might be ThorZaIN's best chance here. Other than that, he hasn't even started another command center. He's lost a lot of SCVs. I feel like he'd just be playing from pretty far behind otherwise.
Yeah, continuing with this tank production and marine production, Banshee production actually continuing as well. ThorZaIN sitting with those two Banshees behind the natural. I'm not sure if he's just not looking at them or if he wants to let the probes transfer over and he can pick them off, but no activity on those Banshees. MC pulling back the stalkers just a little bit as we settle in, and look at MC, just wants to be prepared for this Banshee harass that he thinks is coming, pulling the stalkers forward.
And one of those stalkers taking a lot of damage, the other one's starting to take a little as well. Will they get out of here? Stalkers are pretty fast, and he wants to save those Banshees, and he saves them by the skin of his teeth. Chill, those Banshees get out of there. He's going to want to bring them home, repair them up, and it does in fact look like he's going to go for a Marine Banshee tank all in. That's going to be pretty scary for MC. MC is adding 2 more gates, but he does not have anything really good at breaking that, such as Zealots with legs, such as Colossus. So this is going to be a really deadly attack by ThorZaIN.
Yeah, MC does have these 2 observers, one now flying into the main base of ThorZaIN, so he should be able to see the unit composition, the lack of a second orbital, and actually getting a little bit of harassment here as MC. But he should be able to put the pieces together and have enough adequate time to respond to this. But no, he's actually getting an Immortal. That is a bit of a strange choice, as they cannot hit Banshees, and Marines pretty much own them. There's not going to be any stim on these Marines, though.
Yeah, no stim, but siege mode is on the way. You gotta be careful about those Banshees, and in fact, he does save them. The SCVs that are coming along will go ahead and repair. MC gonna get supply blocked. Very sloppy move there, warping in some more pylons, but that is not something you want to have happen to you. And with siege mode finishing up, if ThorZaIN controls all these units just right, this is gonna be pretty hard to break. But MC, he has a lot of units, 90 supply against 77. Can he do it? How will ThorZaIN set this up?
Yeah, this is going to be the final battle for this game unless they trade entire armies. ThorZaIN driving forward, not going to siege up. He wants the additional DPS of the tanks without the splash damage. Now moving forward, using the Banshees to focus down the sentries, as the majority of ThorZaIN's armies picking apart the units. The Zealots moving forward to try to take out the tanks. 2 tanks again. Oh my god, ThorZaIN left over with enough of an army to deal a ton of damage to MC, but MC in turn focusing down the Banshees, taking away a lot of the damage opportunity from ThorZaIN, and now with the Immortal out, able to drive back. Fantastic micro by ThorZaIN as he continues to dance back and forth, but MC stops the push and forces game 4.
Wow, you know, when he moved out with that, I felt like that was the perfect decision by ThorZaIN, but MC still able to hold it off. Really great players, really great play by both players that game. Very, very impressed. But ThorZaIN keeping us cool with that GG, well played. What a great Manor Bear, Gosu, awesome Terran. Oh my god, chill, let's just start game 4, please.
Well, game number 4 going to be on the very large Tal'Darim altar, so any sort of early aggression ThorZaIN probably not going to have an issue with. I think people are hyped to see some life in the lungs of oGs.MC, and we've got ourselves a match. So stick around with us as we move directly into game number 4.